And trust me, he's a top keeper. It's mad.
This is why I'll always have time for Joe. And truly, I mean this with my chest.
No, yeah, it's all love. Like,
no,
it's
I'll
not,
always have time for Joe because Joe truly is a Leeds United fan. And the fact of the matter is, I'm just engaging what he's done this season and what all the data tells me this season. And the question is, would you bring someone? I'm not saying I would transfer Meslier out. I'm saying we need to bring. I think we need to bring in reasonable competition, because if we're looking to get promoted and we're having a keeper that in every statistical category they have data for is not even in the top 5, is in the top 15, it's just not good enough. It's not going to. Last thing I'll say. To your point about don't just judge him from last season. You made a point about how many shots are those other guys facing, and is that padding their stats? Illan Meslier faced more shots last season than he would have ever wanted to, because our defense was so woeful. And he, again, to quote Brownie, was like having a hologram. This season, I don't doubt that he's improved those areas and crosses. He's still not great at them. And the question is not, is Illan Meslier a middling goalkeeper in the championship? It's do we think we need an elite goalkeeper? We, in every other position, want to find people that are the best in the division to take us up, right? That's the general mentality.
He's the best in the division.
He's not. There's no proof or evidence of it besides 5.
Right. So the game is played by stats now. Then, yeah. Is that what we're saying?
I watched the Leeds United matches too, but I also watch other teams.
So what have you seen this season from Meslier?
These other 19 keepers.
What have you seen from Meslier? What have you seen from Meslier this season that has cost us 3 points?
Well, I will tell you that he has not had a single standout save, with the exception of the last match we played that everybody was raving about, and that I agreed was a good save. But if you're going to be a good keeper, you have to make good saves, like especially if they're hit at your near post. Unbelievable. There's nothing
see now I have to see that you're coming with an agenda when you're saying it's a good save near your near post.
Yeah. What was it not at his near post? Was that at his far post, Joe? Did I miss that?
No, but you're trying to discredit the save.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's a good save, and a good keeper should make good saves at his near post.
Better than good. It was an unbelievable save.
There are keepers that are making saves like that, and the data, that's part of the XG plus minus, right? The top of the division is holding 6.5 over. Look, it's not just math. It's a representation of what happens on the pitch, because we can't watch all the games at once, right? I mean, we can try, but we can't, right? Yeah. And I think that if we look at what other keepers are doing in the division, in every statistical category, if it was like Mellier's elite in this, but not so great in that, fine. We would do the same thing for central midfield, Joe. If somebody's pass completion percentage was like 50%, we would say, hey, that's not very good, right? They're not particularly great. So goalkeeping is the same as any other position. I'm not saying he's a terrible keeper. I'm not saying that I want him out of our club. I'm just saying that if we want to go up and have high standards in every position, we need to look for better than 20th in save percentage and middling in every other statistical category.
Can I just on that though, when you mention about we need more competition, I'm sure, I mean, maybe you don't agree, but I'm sure Connor would agree, and the majority of the chat, there is no better competition really that we could acquire than Carl Darlow. Carl Darlow was at Hull City, was unreal last season, wanted by Bournemouth to be their, to be their second, if you like. And he came to Leeds United because he thought he was getting number 1 spot. Right. So you're saying, I don't want to sell Meslier, but I want better competition. There ain't better competition that you can get in the Championship than Carl Darlow. I don't know what else we want.
Yeah, I've got to be transparent, mate. I think I work on generals, and I think maybe I'm looking at him at his time at Leeds, which might be a bad way of looking at it. Gabe probably thinks it's a good way. I'm not 100% sure I agree he's drastically improved. I think this division is so bad that he's not tested enough. And I think the Leeds United's defence has been that good, and we've controlled possession that much that Meslier at points, I think, and it's not his fault, but I think has almost got a free hall pass, really, because in the Premier League, I thought that there was a big litmus test last season. But then you can throw in the argument of, yeah, but Connor, look at the defence, look at the the nightmarish season we had with what 3 separate managers and the defence been everywhere, and now we have a structure, now we have a framework. Would Mesler be much better in the Premier League? 'Cause he's not exposed to so much clown behaviour at the back, and he's not under pressure consistently. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I've never really rated his handling at corners. He worries me a lot. That could have improved. I think Leeds have improved, to be honest, Joe. I think we're a lot better from corners, whether or not that's the standard of opposition again, or whether or not that's the likes of Joe Rodon and Pascal Strauch-Header and everything else but the grandma. So overall, there's a lot of different circumstances here. I'm probably more on the slant of he's okay for now. Premier League, probably similar to Dan James and a few other of our players, I would definitely be looking at upgrading. But I think you are right in terms of there being a steady improvement. I just look on generals when I look at Mesler and think, I don't know if I'd want him again in the Premier League. Sorry, Joe Wainman.
No, right. That's fair. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But do you believe, both of you, that the club will get someone to replace him if we got promoted?
No. Well,
so why? Really, if you're being realistic, do you think they will?
Maybe.
Genuinely,
if they got promoted, they won't in January.
I am 99% sure they won't. 99%. So why is that?
Would you, Joe? Would you have been happy if we'd have gone down? And because there was a lot of chat about Mesler apparently wanting to leave. A few quotes there that was a bit that they're a bit interesting about him wanting to play in the Premier League. I think he mentioned something about Chelsea as well, which could have been taken out of context. To be fair, if we'd have gone down hypothetically, and Mesler have left, and we'd have got Sam Johnston as an example, would you have seen that as a downgrade?
Not from shot stopping, definitely.
But would you have been happy with us getting Johnston as an example?
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper.
But Johnston's probably not going to make it at the elite level, is he? He's not going to challenge for trophies at any point, is he? Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. That is fair. However, go on.
But I do you know what I think it's really hard to judge Mesler this season because it's a completely different league, completely different standard, and we have we've got a completely different back line and defensive midfield pivot, which is essentially another 2 defenders. It's really, really difficult to judge him. I primarily judge Mesler on when he's had a lot to do, which might be the wrong way of judging him because it's not this season. So, yeah, as Baz has just said, 4th in clean sheets, but I think we are dominating games so much, and we are finding this division so easy in so many other parts, and teams rarely get the ball off us, especially when we look at 70% possession and above. Like, how can you judge Mesler, really? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's difficult.
100%, and I love it, bro, because Tom Napton's just said Connor got Joe there, and he smiled because he knew when he said, "Do you want Johnson?" I was like, "He's got me." I know he's
your vice, Johnston.
No, but can I just say as well, because I do think that there is this narrative that he hasn't improved, and I've had a look at the stats. And I don't know whether you can consider this a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, but some might say you want him to collect. In terms of punches, Mesler is number 1. Mesler is number 1 in the division for punches from corners. And that shows me a distinct improvement. I can only remember one of them actually causing a goal. And people say, he keeps punching, but if you actually watched him, they're going far and away. So I think that's something that's been coached into him because we definitely didn't see that last season. And that's why I say he's improved. Okay, he doesn't come and collect, and some keepers would, but I've just had a look. He's on 15. The next one down is Hladaki at Ipswich with only 10. So that's where I've seen the improvement from corners is what I'm saying. But yeah, I also hear your argument that I think Mesler is going to go to the top, and then if someone like Sam Johnston, I rate him, is he? No, but he has got an England call up. But yeah, he's not on the top.
True.
So